Hello? Knock, knock. Is anybody there? Kind of feels like that sometimes. It really, I don't know. Is anybody else who's tuning in? And hello, by the way, happy Wednesday. Does anybody else do lives? It is like I'm getting used to it, but there is this really weird moment in time where you're live, but you're not yet live. It's very, very bizarre. It's very, very bizarre. Anyway, we're here. Hi, welcome. Happy Wednesday. Don't forget to please let me know when you're here. Drop in the comments a hello, because it is so much nicer knowing that I've got somebody here with me. So I don't feel like I'm just talking to myself and my dog Bailey, who likes to pretend he's sleeping through me talking, but I'm not sure if he really is. So you know the drill, ladies. If you are here with me, say hello in the comments. Let me know what your energy is like today, because Wednesdays are one of those days, aren't they, where it's the hump day, it's the middle of the week, we're a bit tired, we're, oh my God, will the week be over? But if you're in Queensland, you will have just had another long weekend, another public holiday. And that is, what, 3 weekends in a row now? And it starts to kind of confuse you, it gets you out of flow, starting to question, how did we end up in May? What day is it? How do I make it through this week, even though it's a short week? Yeah, that's definitely the conversation that I've been having with people today. They're all like, oh, I'm a bit over these long weekends. I feel really out of sorts, which seems really crazy to even say we're out of sorts, or we're tired of having another long weekend, right? So let me know what sort of energy you have this afternoon with me. Let me know where you're coming from. Just a general, hey, how you going? For the ladies who watch back on replay, do let me know when you've watched it. Give me a hashtag replay. There's a couple of reasons for that. So before we jump into today's topic, I don't know if you're all aware, but Facebook is now doing this thing where apparently it doesn't have enough storage. Why did they call themselves Meta? So apparently they don't have enough storage for everybody to hold onto their Facebook lives. So they are starting to delete them after 30 days. So that means even though we have our private Facebook group, they will still delete them. So any of our old Facebook lives will start to be removed, but I think this is actually from February. So they're cleaning out the newer ones first, is what I'm told. Not that you ever speak to anybody from Meta, so I could be wrong about that. But so where I'm going with this is, if you let me know in the comments that it's been watched, or what your thoughts are, or ask any questions, it helps me know whether it was a topic that's actually useful for you, and whether I need to try and save these videos somewhere so that we can come back to them at some stage. Or do we just treat every live like a new live, and do we just keep starting from scratch and not worrying about the fact that they're not staying in our Facebook group? So give me a little bit of feedback on that. And it is one of the reasons why I do ask you to give me a comment and let me know your thoughts. So now that we've got through the admin, right? Let's get into the topic. So last week we did things a little bit different. I didn't go live in the Facebook group. I went live on my Facebook page, profile, whatever the technical term is. But it was nice to have some of you there anyway. It didn't matter. So that's really great. What you would know is that we spoke about a vision, right? Whereas today, what I want to really be able to talk about is, I guess, is one of the things that comes out of having a vision to take action, you know, having a plan, having an idea, having that dream. What would be the next thing? Well, the next thing would be the fact that once we've got our vision and we've got an idea on what it is that we want, and even potentially the small next step that we need to take to bring that vision to life, I know that we automatically then start to second guess it. And not even the vision itself, more that, can I really do this? Can I really achieve this? What if I mess it up? Am I being ridiculous for even trying? Any of those things sound familiar to you? When we were going through that session last week, or when you watched the replay and you sort of thought about your vision, did that lack of self-belief or that questioning, can I really do this? Is this really realistic? Really realistic? Did any of that pop into mind for you? Okay. So it would be really interesting to know. Some people that I've spoken with, yes, that was a bit of an automatic response. And it may not have stuck around for them, but it did pop up. And I'm going to run with the fact that not everybody was able to work through that, and that may have stuck around for a little bit longer. So I really want to talk about why self-belief feels so hard when we're in our midlife. And if it doesn't feel hard for you, just let me know in the comments that it doesn't. That's great. I want to celebrate that with you. Fantastic. And let all the other women in the community celebrate that with you as well. Maybe you might even be open to sharing how or why that doesn't stick around for you. But anyway, let's move on. So why is self-belief, why does it feel so hard? Because remember, we're not about being perfect. We're definitely not here to encourage or force or shame the fact that we're not perfect. We're here to be real. But this self-belief is really about trusting yourself even when it feels uncertain. Because a lot of life really does feel uncertain at some point. Nothing's promised, is it? So what I have seen, or what my point of view on this is the reason why so many women struggle with self-belief is because it comes down to this thing that I talk about a lot, and that's years of putting others first. But also it's this, we downplay our strengths, right? We downplay our strengths. And then we also have setbacks that may have happened in the past, and that creates self-doubt. Okay, it's evidence for us that we didn't get it right, and that maybe we will never get it right. Then there's this societal or cultural conditioning that I have felt So I'm very interested to know whether you felt it too. It's this conditioning that says it's too late, that we're past our time. For some reason, we seem to think midlife means end of life, or basically close to. And so that we've got no time left to do any of these things that might have been formed in our vision, what our vision looks like. One of the other things that stands out to me that I've witnessed from women in my 51 years on earth is that we've never really been shown how to back ourselves without proof. That we must always have evidence to show that we can do it. So that takes us back to having to prove ourselves all the time. So let me know in the chat if you've ever felt like you couldn't see yourself as the kind of woman who could create the life that you want. Just pop in there, me, if that applies to you. If you've ever felt like you couldn't see yourself as the kind of woman who could create the life that they wanted. Is that you, or has that been you? Facebook is not showing me any comments today. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Facebook. Let's see. Try and do it a different way. Worked high. Oh, look, there we are. I think Buena has made a comment there. So, sorry, Buena, it's not showing the comment for me. I will come back to it, I promise. All right. Let's talk about, because I did title this Becoming Her. And what did I mean by that? Like, who is her? When I'm talking about her, I'm talking about your future self. So if you've done any past trainings with me, or you have been in my coaching program, you will have heard me talk about past self, current self, future self. So when I say her, I'm talking about that future self, the woman that you're becoming, because you're not at the end, you're still becoming. She's in here, we're uncovering her, we're reconnecting with her, we're reintroducing her to the world, and we are still becoming her. And that's going to be the one that you saw very clearly when you did that vision work last week. If you haven't done it yet, please do go back to the replay whilst it's still there and Facebook hasn't deleted it. Okay, just a tip. So go back to that, do the vision work, and then you'll know what I'm talking about here is that woman, that future woman who is in that vision. She's bolder, she backs herself, she honors her time and energy. And because she does, so does everybody else. And she follows through. She does the things that she says she's going to do. We are so proud of her. We're so excited to be that person because we've felt like in our past self and our current self, we're not her. But our future self, we become her. And it's exciting. It feels really good. That's the her I'm talking about. She already exists. She is already in here. Even if you have never yet been her, as far as you can remember, she already exists. You are just now going to align with her. You're going to reconnect with her. You're going to meet her again. Okay? And if you think, well, in my vision, she seems very, very confident, and I am not that person. I want you to remember that confidence isn't something you have. It's something you become. It is something we can become. And we do it through consistent alignment and action. Okay? So even if your past self and current self has never been confident, you've never felt confident, she is there. The confidence is there. It can be there. So by following through on the things that you said you would do, by honoring your time and energy, by backing yourself, and by being that bit bolder and following that vision, that's where your confident self is. Okay, she's there. So what are the ways we're going to do this? What are the ways that we can build our unshakable self-belief? I'm checking for comments, but Facebook is just not doing it for me today. It's just not doing it. So apologies, ladies. I will go back and check for those comments. What are the ways we can build unshakable self-belief? Well, you've guessed it. I've got 3 steps for you today. Always 3. That's really all we've got time for. And these are just a taste, okay? So all of these lives that I do every Wednesday with you, it's to give you a taste. It is not the complete work. In my coaching, we do a lot more than this. I ask you to do a lot more than this, but these are definitely places that you can start. So the number 1 step here for your self-belief is borrow belief from her. Remembering her is your future self. So here's some questions you can ask yourself. This would be a great time if you're watching on replay to pause when I give you these questions and write the answers down. Always have pen and paper when you're with Frances, always. So let me pop, if I pop some of these in the comments, maybe, just maybe. Oh, here we go. They're starting to come through. I've got Pam. I've got Buena. Hello. Now it's not going to let me put a comment in. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Let me reply to, no, it's not going to let me do it. I cannot give this to you in a comment. My apologies. So you'll need to pause and write this down. Ask yourself daily, what would the next level version or the future version of you do today? And then I want you to act from the identity of that woman that you're becoming, that future self, that woman in your vision. Not the past self, not the current self, not who you are right this very moment, but the one you are in that vision. It's like borrowing from a bank account. I'm going to borrow that little bit so that I can be that person. Okay? So borrow some belief from her. Number 2 is make and keep micro promises. I've kind of already indicated or hinted at this about following through on what you say you're going to do. So this is about that. It's making and keeping micro promises to yourself, because self-belief grows when you do what you'll say you'll do. Self-belief grows when you do what you say you'll do. Got it? I got the Wednesday wobbles. All right, so start with tiny commitments. I'm always talking to you ladies about small steps, small actions. This is not about blowing up your current life. To become the future you. It's not about that. The future you includes all of this beautiful journey that you've already been on. And you're going to use all the wisdom and all the knowledge and all of the pain and the challenges and the joy and the belly laughs. You're going to use all of it to be this woman. So it does start with tiny commitments. For example, today I'll take 10 minutes for myself. Today I'll follow through on that task. It might be today I'll follow through on watching the replay of Frances's live in the Facebook group. Today I'll make sure, I've put my pen and paper somewhere else. Today I'll make sure I have pen and paper with me while I watch the replay. Today I'll make sure, or I'll follow through by taking that one small action that I wrote down after attending the live with Frances. Keep the promise and always celebrate it. If you don't know in what way to celebrate it, bring it to the live, share it in the comments, and let's celebrate it together. We are a community. That's what we do. We cheer each other on. We celebrate. And your celebrations help us to create our own reasons to celebrate. It's all a circle. All right. Step number 3, rewrite the evidence. So I talked a little bit earlier about how we've never really been shown how to back ourselves without proof. Evidence. And I know that I have mentioned many times about what I ask coaching clients to do, and that's to build an evidence log or a book of evidence. Not to prove to anybody else, and not really to prove to yourself. It's really more because we forget. We're very quick to remember the things we didn't do, didn't achieve. We're not so good at remembering the things we did do and that we did achieve. But what if we didn't actually need evidence? What if we could live without having to prove it to ourselves? Well, it's generally not how we work. It's not how our human brain works. And this is not a gender thing. This is not an age thing. This is a human being thing. And this is why I tell you all of this is completely normal. Completely normal. Okay? So, what I want you to think about here is that your brain is always collecting data. And we all know I'm not a big fan of data. I don't go chasing it like I know some of our beautiful women do. But our brain does look for it. And because we know that, the best thing that we can do is give it to our brain, but give it new data, give it new proof. If it believes that something back here was a setback, and so your current version can't do it, we need to give it some new proof so that that future you, that you in your vision, can feel calm and without self-doubt, with belief. So here's a journal prompt for you. Again, you might want to pause this if you're watching on replay. For the ladies who are live with me, thank you for being live with me. I do really appreciate it. Get your pen and paper. The journal prompt is 3 things I did this week that show I'm becoming her. So I'll say it again. 3 things I did this week that show I'm becoming her. This is a perfect follow-on from last week's session. You've got the vision. Now, what are the 3 things that you've done between seeing your vision and now that is becoming her, becoming the woman in the vision? By doing this, this rewires your identity to match your future. So you are aligned. So there's no butting. And so there's no guilt, there's no shame. Okay? How does that sound? Does that sound doable? Does that sound like homework that you can get done this week? Give me a yes in the comments if that's true for you. All right, so the challenge and the wrap up is this week, I want you to borrow some belief from your future self. Think of it as a bucket, 3 little buckets, 3 coffee cups, 3 bank accounts, however you need to think about it. 1 is your past self, 1 is your current self, and 1 is your future self or her. And I want you to borrow a little bit of belief from her. Then I want you to make 1 micro, very tiny promise and keep it. These sound really simple tips, don't they? Like you're probably sitting here going, Frances, why am I spending half an hour listening to you talk about these things? This is completely obvious. Yep, it is. But what I find is what's obvious and what we do are not the same. And not one single one of you is not, my language today is terrible. My English is bad today. You are all intelligent. You all know this. It is all common sense. You know it. But you are not doing it, are you? This is why I went into coaching, because I know that women know it. They really do even know the how, even though it's one of the things they say to me on a call with me. I don't know how. I don't know where I want to go and I don't know how to get there. Well, last week we worked on the vision. And trust me, you do know how to get there because you're not silly. But do you do what's required to get there? No, we all need help, accountability. We all need it. Athletes need it. People need it. We need it for diet and exercise. We need it for keeping, I don't know, on task in our jobs. We all need it in some way. We need it for savings, investing. So this is really about now the micro promise and keeping it. And then the very last part of this week's challenge is celebrate yourself every step of the way. Every Friday in this Facebook group, I do a post asking for you to celebrate your wins. When was the last time you posted on that? When was the last time you celebrated a win? Pam, I know you're with me and I know you've got a win today. Celebrate it. For the ladies that are here live, you are here. You've kept the promise to yourself. Celebrate it. I expect to see a lot of celebrations on this Friday's post. All right. Now, before you go, I want you in the comments to tell me what's one thing your future self will do today. What is one thing she would do today to be living that vision? What would she be doing? Pop it in the chat for me, in the comments. I want to see it. You need to commit to this, ladies. Okay? You don't need confidence to start. You build it by being the woman you want to become, the woman that you are inside and you want to let out. Okay? Lots of tough love for you guys today. I hope this is exactly what you've needed. And I hope that you understand that the gap between where you are and where you want to be is built with belief. And you can have that. You absolutely can. All right, ladies, let's keep this conversation going. If you feel that this is useful for your best friend who you know needs this, please let her know about our group or let her know about this live. I would be more than happy to send the link to her whilst we still have the link. All right. That's it. That's it for another Wednesday. Powerful half an hour. Over and out from me. I look forward to seeing everything in the group, and I look forward to hearing the conversation continue, and I look forward to seeing those actions happening and you celebrating yourself. Have an amazing week. Mwah. Much love to you all. Take care, and I will talk to you all very, very soon.